Part 36 is sharing my story on here because it's so much easier than writing another book. Oh, and I have been worked up for the last couple videos talking about nonprofit work because, whoa, did I learn some serious lessons. But I want to go back to the couponing because this is really fascinating. I had just put the couponing business like on a shelf and I was like, okay, we've gone through 3 mothers who have passed away in connection with this business, and it just must not be for a thing for right now, or I don't know what I'm doing with it. I ended up having this man come to me. He and his wife were super excited about promoting the couponing program because they saw the work I was doing and they were just so excited. They're like, we want to help you. We want to get behind you. And I'm just like, here, you can have the program. Give me, you know, a chunk of it. Whatever you do with it, do with it. And do you like your mother? Like, is that a thing? Because right now we've gone through 3 mothers. Do you like your mother? And he's like, oh no, we don't believe in that kind of stuff. Like, we're fine. Everything's fine. And you know what? A year later, they gave the business back to me. You know why? Their mothers got sick. I am not laughing. I do not want their mothers to be sick. I do not want their mothers to be sick. And all of us do alive at some point in our life. Like, that is the entire point. But at this stage in the game, I was just like, yeah, I'll take it back. And I ended up putting all the videos for free on YouTube. They're actually on the channel with the same username. You can go see all of them for free. And I have completely retired that business because after 5 mothers, I think it's just something that's supposed to be free on the internet. And if you want to learn how to save money on groceries, like, you can go check out the Money Maniac program because it will save you a lot of money. But I can't in good conscience continue that business because 5 mothers is a lot. Although maybe there's a business opportunity. Do you not like your mother? No, I'm joking. I don't think we can go there. So back to anti-trafficking work, because my consulting and nonprofit are really the things that are paying the bills and everything's going. Like, I am so freaking busy. I've got teams running. We are doing all of the fun stuff, like speaking and helping people and creating a lot of awareness. And we're really just creating a stir. And that's the fun part of it. But because I shifted from being really on a Christian platform to then being like on a human platform, which is a very different type of platform, most of my funding started to dry up. And I had been working with that same nonprofit out of Connecticut, and they were offering to give me a job, and it was a really good job. And my whole family would relocate from Portland, Oregon to New Haven, Connecticut, and it would be a really good move because then I would be in a more liberal place around people that were much more progressive and really understood what I was talking about, because I had continued consulting with them for a couple years. And while it was difficult being in their board meetings, like, I spent 8 hours one day in a conference room talking to a couple board members and then some of the like policy and systems people, explaining my program for aftercare. And after 8 hours of mapping it out on a whiteboard and explaining why I did everything from finances to systems to support to community engagement, like, I have the entire system and program. After 8 hours, they were like, yeah, that's right. And the CEO and I ended up spending another day in a room, and I mapped out the entire program and curriculum for them. And they ended up paying me one last payment, took my name off all the papers and all the white papers that I had written, and put a couple doctors' names on it. And that was actually the program that reformed foster care for the state of Connecticut. So that was a really cool experience and extraordinarily fucked up, but pretty cool also because I know I did it, and that's really what matters to me. And the changes were made, and it's extraordinarily fucked up. And it was evidence of what was coming next, because that organization was kind of crumbling from the inside out. And I wasn't aware of it because I was on the West Coast and they're East Coast, and I had only been out there, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. But the entire organization was crumbling and restructuring. And so the job offer did not go through. But they're like, there is this other survivor that has this campaign, and y'all should hook up because, like, you guys could work really well together and you're both on the West Coast. Oh, also with that nonprofit, I had done so much work with them and I needed to have my story verified. So when you work with big national media or international media, you have to have your story verified because they think you're lying, like you're going to make up this shit, and people do, which is really beyond me. But I needed to verify that my story was accurate, and the best way to do that is with a criminal report. And so I had this arrest on my record from Hawaii while I was being trafficked under the false name, and I was still technically a minor by my legal name. That arrest had never actually been connected to my biological name, although I did have this moment. And another story that I totally forgot to tell you about. There's so many stories that I've missed all throughout here. But when my oldest daughter was in second grade, before I went public with my story, so it must have been like 07, 08, I had went to become a volunteer at her school. And when I did, I got rejected. And I was like, why? They're like, you've got a criminal record. And I was like, what? And it was over Christmas. I was so stressed out and they were closed for Christmas. So I went in to the police department or wherever it was. And I was like, can you give me my criminal record? Turns out that hit and run from before I was trafficked was a felony. And it was still on my record. So I am like 6 months pregnant. Oh, this must have been 2008 because I was like 6 months pregnant with my fourth child, the unassisted childbirth. And I turned myself into law enforcement for this, like, at that point, it's like an 8 or 10-year-old felony hit and run. And I sit in the jail for like 5 or 6 hours. And in that time, they ran my fingerprints and found that old prostitution charge from Hawaii under a different name. They asked me about it and I just said, I don't know. And they let me go. But I think that's why they had me sit in there for some hours, because they were trying to decide what to actually do with me. But they released me. The case ended up being dismissed, and that wasn't really a big deal. But then when that organization is like, we need to verify your story and court records are really the best way, I was like, I bet if we pull my fingerprints, it'll all come out. And that's like hard and fast truth, because it's really the thing that verifies that I was trafficked, because I was a minor and the fake name and all of it makes sense. And I was like, but I'm also very nervous, because if I do this, then it connects all of my record, and is that going to be a problem? And they reassure me over and over, oh, we will take care of it. And I have this in writing. We will take care of it. It's like, we will cover anything that happens. We don't want you to have any ramifications. And I went ahead and had my fingerprints done. And it was there, and it connected. And it fucked my life in so many ways. We'll have to go into that soon.